in an age of lawlessness and despair. The empire of man lay in ruins, torn asunder by civil war, and racked by famine and
Hello again, Struckweb. I'm back with some Warhammer Chaosbane. For you, I have not played it much, just a little bit today after the update. I've been kinda busy with other stuff, so hopefully you would enjoy watching me play it. And the plan for today is go through the different heroes, check each different set build for the heroes and how it changed. We did better. Can it do Chaos 7? The big question for every build. Or is it still just one build that can solve Chaos 7? So hopefully more builds can do it. And we will know soon. So first of all I'm gonna go on Elessa and see how things change there. So let's just go ahead and do it. So here we go. I know there aren't major changes that are really like worthy of reworking many of the builds, but there are some reworks that need to be done for some of the builds. The summoner build didn't seem weak at all. It did get some buffs. The Defiler's Reckoning specifically got very strong. So I'm gonna check if I can do Chaos 7 with this build now. I tried Chaos 5, it is good, it is better than before. Also, I don't think there's anything else I can do for this build. In regards to the god skills, I don't see much changes. They did say the crit damage things changed. So where did I have some crit damage? Around here. 30%. What about the big crit damage? Was there a big crit damage note? 40%. So the crit damage did get buffed, as I was saying for a while, that that is quite necessary. So thankfully this is the thing. Now this build is getting 180 crit damage from the skill tree, which is quite a nice boost. In regards to my other skills, I still think Master Archer is okay for getting energy for this build, but if you believe you can play with something else for a summoner build, that would be also nice. Let me just check quickly if I would like to switch some things. How powerful are those new dryads on the god skills? Before those dryads were powerful, but it doesn't say how powerful they are still. I did like having them though. Let's check my build, if I can try and use maybe a more powerful one. I've got 3 points left, not enough for an upgrade of a god skill. Just checking if there's something that can be upgraded. Spinning blades, can I upgrade spinning blades? No. Can I upgrade maybe Lone Hunter can be upgraded, let's see. Lone Hunter. Still not enough to upgrade. Well, I think that's kind of how it's gonna be. I'm gonna leave my build the way it was before, just to make sure it works. I could try adding Blessing of the Forest and other stuff. Also, there are things that I need to try. Some new, not new, but some old gear that got changed. So I'm using Master Archer bow. I wanna try and see if the Pact bow is worth it. I still think Master Archer would be a bit better for me. As for the set, it supposedly got buffed. Let's go ahead. Let's try a map. I'm gonna do a lesser map on Chaos 7. Tzeentch. Okay, I'm gonna go for a Tzeentch map. Hopefully I don't get one shot too much. So there's two things that are important for Chaos 7, for a build to be viable to do Chaos 7. First off, a build will be viable if it doesn't get one shot all the time. But if you can afford not getting hit and dying, then a build would be viable if it does enough damage. Oh fuck, I keep doing something I should. So the enemies do seem to have a lot of HP still in Chaos 7. What skills was I using as passives? Out spirits, guardian spirit, okay. Still think the damage is very weak, but at least the little guys I'm killing off with some 3 million and some other damage like that. But 3 million is nowhere near enough for Chaos 7. What else did I wanna check? Just a second to check if my mic is on. I might have muted it by accident. Okay, it's not muted. Let's see my summons damage. I won't do anything, I'm just gonna check how much damage the summons are doing. But yeah, what I was expecting is for every build with green gear to be able to do Chaos 7 which is much ease as Bragi with an undefeated set. That doesn't seem to be the case. Doesn't seem to be the case, and what I wanted to see from the game I'm not seeing. I'm seeing some stuff, I'm seeing some balancing, but it's nowhere near enough. So another disappointment from this game so far for this build. I'm gonna try the other two builds to see if at least one build on each class can do Chaosbane, Chaos 7. Because when just one build is able to do it solo, the game is definitely broken and needs some fixing. And I don't think it should be that difficult to complete the final difficulty in a game for any build. But the thing is, I've heard that the drop rates are still bad, and people just can't see how bad a build balance is until they fully gear with green items and see how ridiculously stupid Chaos 7 is in the game. I think Chaos 6 and 7 actually were completely unnecessary, and because they screwed up the drops being too easy for red items, they decided to add green items in Chaos 6 and 7. And I think that was such a bad move. They should have probably just added the green items only and kept Chaos 5 the limit, and they also should have just added a bit more wood chance for the green items. There's a limit of how much patience people have in regards to bad drop rates. This is not supposed to be an MMO with MMO drop rates. It's supposed to be action RPG with emphasis on the action, especially one where you have dodge rolls, physical and physical other mechanics to move away from danger. It makes it feel more dynamic. The combat is nice. I mean, this game has one of the best combat systems for an ARPG. The problem is the balancing of the enemies and of the difficulty levels being not good for everyday casual players. I just want to spend a few hours a day grinding, get their wood and go do some other stuff. Seems to be catered to people who can spend a lot of time on the game. Like hours and hours and hours like I did to get full sets. And that's not the best thing to do for an ARPG. You see, I can barely do damage to some of the elites. I'm gonna start playing with fragments, cause yeah, I'm gonna just move towards the boss now. So after this I'm gonna try the trap build. I heard the trap build got boosted a lot. And it's gonna be perfect to see how much it got boosted. Before I could do like 5 million crits with traps. Still nowhere near enough to doing 150 million on fragging. You need really good damage numbers if you wanna do Chaos 7 efficiently. And until they fix this, I don't think the balance would be good.
I need to prepare myself for that.
So I saw something like 7 million crit there. And I'm not sure whether it was from a pet, but... Oh no, I don't want to kill this enemy to result in me dying after it. Oh shit, yeah, one shots. This is one of the other things I hate about Chaos 7. And not just Chaos 7. Many things can one-shot you if you don't dodge them. And it's fine to take like big chunks of your HP, but complete one-shots are just unnecessary. I'm fine with taking like half of my HP or 80-70% of my HP with one hit. But so far this game has not made me believe that it will be worth spending money to people who haven't played it yet, who haven't done the thing to buy it by accident or by trusting the Warhammer franchise on launch. So let's see how long it would take me to kill this enemy. I'm not saying it's not doable, but I'm saying it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna keep trying. Of course, eventually I might just not kill this boss, because if it takes too long, it's not worth doing. So it seems this build kind of does a bit better on Chaos 7 and actually can do it. It actually can do it, so it's not that bad. It's a bit better than before. Yeah, it does feel better. It does feel much better to try and do kill 7 on this class. Before I would have been dying much more. So in the rebalancing they said this include rebalancing of the difficulty on the enemies in general in Chaos 7. This I can confirm. I remember playing this before, the exact same setup before update 1.6006. Okay, let's try and not die at the end of the fight. I'm getting too close already. So with the summoner setup, as I expected, I can just kite to do my summons and be able to kill one of the bosses. Some bosses would be harder, of course, the ones that do a nova, do green or fire novas. Those would be the ones that are a bit more difficult, because you have to really pay attention to when they're casting the nova. But there are tails, each boss has a tail, each boss has mechanics you can get used to. So yeah, this was it, the Chaos 7 on this build. So this build can do it. Of course it can't do it as fast as an undefeated build. So I think the balancing needs to be further looked into. It's a good step in the right direction, doing some balancing. But I think there needs to be a bit more to be done. Because look at that, it's full green gear, upgraded and everything. And you can't have one build doing crits of over 100 million and the other not even being able to get 10 million. Of course, a pet shouldn't do 100 million because I have shit tons of pets, and a trap shouldn't do 100 million. But if a pet does like 20, you have 5, 6, 7 pets, then you can kind of have the same damage output as a dwarf. Now let's go and change sets. I wanna go and change to the trap set, to my trap build. I kind of don't remember exactly what stuff I had equipped. Not equipped, but what skills I had equipped, not gear, but skills for my trap build. So first of all, helmet. I need what was it called? Eternity. Eternity. Okay, I don't have a green Eternity helmet, but that's fine. Red will do. Eternity tunic, there you go, Eternity tunic. Then legs, I don't have the green ones, maybe? Yeah. Eternity gauntlets, again, I don't have green ones. I do have those, but that's not what I need. So, boots. In regards to boots, I think I had green Eternity, yeah. Green Eternity boots, and that should do it for the gear. Let's equip everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Eternity items. So I've got a symbiosis bow up for the traps. First of all, let's check where it was. My good symbiosis. I think that's it. It's the one I have with me. Got a good symbiosis bow, and I'm still gonna probably use executors, but I wanna check the other daggers. First of all, I'm gonna check with executors, and then later on, when I check my builds the way they were before compared to now, then I'm gonna start experimenting with other stuff. I think the Tireless Guardian really needs to be reworked. This should not be a case where you get damage bonus when you regain energy through the familiar. It should be something else. It should give you the damage bonus based on the number of familiars. And it should be permanent. Like this 200%, you should have it when you have two familiars active. When you regain energy through the familiar, that's when you should lose some of the damage for a few seconds. But yeah, and that's just my opinion of it. So while you have the summoning set, you have two familiars. Getting 100% damage per familiar would be nice while it's glowing. While it's not glowing after you regain energy like this, you could lose that damage for a few seconds until it starts glowing again. I think that's how it should be. Or even if it's 200%, it would still be nice. But as long as you just get this while you're not inside the familiar, like while you're not regaining energy, the opposite of what it is now. So quickly, let's change to the trap build. First of all, I need the heroic trap version. Which one was it? Hungry Roots? Wait, shouldn't there? I'm missing a piece, I think. Eternity. Okay, what am I missing? Oh yeah, it was the Ambush Specialist. That's the skill. The heroic skill. Where is it? Here. So first off, I probably would leave the Fiver's Reckoning and Queen's Wrath. That's how I used to play the build before. But I do want Living Roots. This is kind of similar to what my build was before, except I didn't have out creatures. I'm kind of trying to remember. Did I use... did I use this one? I was using this one for a while. I remember I was using follow tracks to keep regaining energy, but I want to check if there's anything else that changed that might make me rethink this. So crit chance, health regeneration. So for a trap build, you really don't need one hunter with crit chance, because most of the time there will be a lot of enemies around you. But I don't think there's anything else we can do. Of course we can take the basic one, which I've taken, and that's fine. As for Guardian Spirit, I probably want to change it to something else. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna play with Guardian Spirit for now, but a good alternative would be... This is permanent health regen, so it's not a bad choice for the 12 points. But this is also a nice thing to do. You keep dodging all the time when you're doing the traps. You keep moving, so tactical retreat is always a good choice instead of Guardian Spirit. So keep it in mind. This is nice with the poison trail, and the other one is also nice with the damage reduction. But you can even go for the most basic one. This gives you for 6 seconds. It gives you for 4 seconds the buffs. And this is a good bonus. Duelist chain reaction being doubled is a great help. Let's go ahead, let's do a lesser map on Chaos 7. You can see we're doing Chaos 7 now. So the good news is Summoner build can do Chaos 7. A bit slow, but it can do it. Let's see how about the trap build. I probably should have picked something else instead of spinning blade. I kind of forgot to change to something else.
I need more time. Focus.
I did get one of the worst maps possible though for a trap build. Yeah, this is immediately me going back to the town. I'm not gonna do this act. Even after the rebalance, this is just a terrible, terrible act to deal with. Everything, almost everything in this act can one-shot you. Ridiculously stupid. So I'm gonna try and get something different than Swanesh. Corn. Corn is nice. Corn is nice. They did rebalance some of the enemies, like the how often the enemies can pull you. This got rebalanced in Swanesh, but it's still a ridiculously stupid act. Even the most basic creature can one-two shot you. And most of them are like in bulks in there, attacking you up close.
I need to prepare myself for that.
And here, immediately one shot by the most basic creature. This is the bad thing about Chaos 4, it's just stupidly overpowered. Pulse of Blood was very strong before. Before on Chaos 5 even, Pulse of Blood was an amazingly OP modifier. Especially against the trap build where you kinda need to be close to the enemies. See, I can barely kill a group of enemies. I haven't killed a single group of enemies yet. Just a few enemies of the groups, but so far from the two groups I have not killed a single elite. One is close to dying.
I need to prepare myself for that.
And God skills with cooldown still don't count for the proc of duelist chain reaction and all the other chain reactions. So God skills still don't count for a skill with cooldown, even though they do have cooldowns.
I need to prepare myself for that.
So they're categorized as skills, not as God skills, not as skills. So it is doable, but it just takes ridiculously unnecessary long to do a Chaos 7 run with a trap build. And for the time you would do a Chaos 7 run, you can do a few Chaos 4 or 5 and end up getting a higher chance of getting a green item out of it. This is not the way I expected trap damage to be on Chaos 7. Expected to see numbers over 20 million per trap. I think the highest I've seen is 4, 5, 6 million. 7 every now and then when things broke. million. I think 7 is my record so far for trap damage. And the strongest trap is actually the one you leave behind with the dodge roll, which is the weirdest part of the whole trap setup. And I was doing 7 million before the update. I was getting 7 million with this trap, the one I leave behind. I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try back and forth dodging just to proc this trap. 8 million, okay. But yeah, this back and forth dodging results in this one. So as soon as I change my playstyle, this happens. Because you're leaving the trap behind where you dodge. So if you try and come a bit closer to the enemies, which you kind of in a way need if you want to maximize the damage, you end up getting one shot. Now I didn't even see what hit me, I was just dodging all the time. So Chaos 7 still feels like it's unnecessary in the game. Like it's there just to give fake feeling of extra difficulty. And the thing is, they're even thinking about adding more difficulties to the game. Which is the last thing we need is more power creep. More difficulties, more items that are stronger and make the new ones unnecessary. The current ones unnecessary. And again, the last thing we need is god skills locked behind a paywall. Additional new god skills locked behind a paywall. I don't mind them charging for the new class and making the god skills free. This is what games do. Games do class DLCs. They do expansions with new classes that you pay for. But charging for the premium users only being able to access the other god skills is just one of the worst moves you can do for an ARPG. So yeah, Chaos 7 still feels unnecessarily difficult and not worth your time. If you want to be farming items, Chaos 7 is not the place to go. And why else would anyone even want to be on Chaos 7? Unless for the better wood chance. But the time spent is just not worth it. The time and money spent reviving and stuff. So they did try to balance it, but they do need to do a lot more balancing than what they've done. I'm not sure they even played the game. How do they even play it to say this is fine, it feels difficult enough, I can complete it? I would like to see a developer try and stream Chaos 7, just to see how they do Chaos 7. How do they complete it? If a developer can complete Chaos 7 on stream with every single set, there's 12 different sets of the game. I would like to see them make a build for every single set, just to show that the build can complete it without issues. If they can't complete it, then they need to rebalance it. Okay, I'm gonna just rush towards where the boss is. So at least the summoner build can do it. The trap build would take way longer to do such a thing as completing Chaos 7. And that's not even a Grand Relic run, that's a lesser relic run. So supposed to be a bit easier than the grunt. And did you see now what happened? He hit the air and I was already here when I died, but he was hitting there. So this kind of wagged out, even though I'm playing offline, not on a server.
So overall, how do you like this game? Do you agree with the reviews it's gotten?
Code Miser, yes, I agree with all the reviews the game has gotten. I think it had potential, but the potential was wasted with very bad decisions in regards to marketing the game. First of all, the pricing was with Games Workshop pricing, which is standard for Warhammer games because of the license. Second of all, the balancing is just terrible. When they launched the game, the gear was dropping left and right, and the maximum tier was red items. Then people started getting geared up in hours with red items, so they released a patch that added green items. But the green items are ridiculously difficult to get. You kind of have to spend 10 hours plus a day. If you want to get green items, you have to spend more than 10 hours a day if you want to gear up it within a week. And it's just unnecessary time spent farming on an ARPG. Then the balancing. Before update 1.06 there was only one class that can do effectively Chaos 7. Now today I'm going to find out every single build from the 12 current builds that you have in the game. How it fares in Chaos 7. So far I'm testing the trap build and it doesn't feel as strong as it should be. I think it should do 10 times more damage than it does right now. There was one class that can do not 1000 but 150 million damage per hit in AoE. So this was the only build that could do Chaos 7 before. So you can see me do all the way up to maybe 10 million with this build, and that's it. And this just gives you kind of an idea of how badly balanced this is. It is a step in the right direction because they did some balancing, and now earlier today at the start of the stream I was able to complete the game with a summoner build on Chaos 7, which was not able to do it before effectively. So I can confirm they've kind of reduced the difficulty and overall everyone got a boost in power. So everything got a boost in power and the enemies got nerfed a bit, but it's still not enough. See, I just did 19 million somehow when I stacked some stuff, but that was just a one-time occurrence. And this was not to bosses, but it was rather to regular enemies. And the main problem is the damage the enemies do. Like, even the littlest enemy can one-shot you. And I think it would be nice for people to be able to take some damage. Be able to take some hits. Not you like, get hit, you die. That's kind of the worst thing to do, like one-shot fest. So, the game is worth it for a few hours. But later on, when you reach the grind and you see how bad it is...
That's too bad. I've been keeping an eye on this and I'm still hopeful they will fix it.
Yes,
thank you for the honest answer.
Of course, before when the game was new I was even recommending it to people, saying that it feels great. But then came the invasion patch, which fucked up the drop rates and it made farming unpleasant grind fest. And then we realized with the addition of Chaos 7 how bad it is in regards to balancing. You could realize how strong certain builds are compared to the others. So hopefully they would take some time, but the biggest issue I have with the game developers in regards to what they've announced for the future of the game is they've announced something like this. This is a God skill tree. So they would be adding God skills that are only available to the people who bought premium packs. So if you bought the basic game of the the basic version of the game, you would only be able to access the basic god skills. Whereas if you bought the premium versions, the more expensive ones, with season pass, if you're a season pass owner, then you would be able to get additional god skill trees. And I think this is the worst thing you can put behind the paywall. I'm okay with them putting expansions for the new classes, but putting something like gameplay, actual gameplay mechanics like the god skills, the additional ones being walked behind the paywall seems wrong. Many games want you to pay for additional classes. Diablo wanted you to pay for the Necromancer. There's like Borderlands that wanted you to pay for the Mechromancer. So there's a lot of examples where you would pay for a DLC that gives you a character, but where you have to pay for skills, it just seems stupid. I'm fine with people paying for cosmetics, I'm fine with people paying for some characters and stuff, but when it comes to actual skills that would probably be strong, they still have time to rethink it, because now they're gonna give us a class free. They're gonna give us a 5th hero for free, but they want to charge for the extra god skill trees. But the thing is, they sold season passes and they actually have to do something to make it worth buying those season passes, but that's not the right thing to do. So I know they probably feel pressured to do good on their supporters who bought the season passes, but this just divides the people, and many people would kind of stop playing after this gets introduced. Many people have already stopped playing, and you can see this build actually is not worth my time trying to finish this boss. So I'm gonna leave area and I'm gonna test the other build. With the damage numbers I've seen, trap build is nowhere near as good as it should be. I just quickly want to check how this item is not fixed still. The spinning blades are just unnecessary to work in the way they do. If those were spinning one closer to you and one further from you, it would have been better. So now I'm gonna change back to the other build, to the poison build. So what I need is to get rid of this. First off, I need to check some stuff. Let's take Eternal Queen. I'm not sure which one was better. I'm gonna get them both in my inventory. Eternal Queen, this one. So Eternal Queen, where is it? This one. I'm just checking each build one by one. This is what I'm gonna be doing today, just to see how the different builds compare now with the changes. Yeah, what I'm wearing seems better. I didn't test a symbiosis with the traps, so that could have been extra 200%. So maybe I should have gone back. I'm gonna try the trap build again later with the trap based bow, but I would be losing a lot of good stuff. I'd be losing a lot of cooldown reduction. if I were to use this bow, but I'm gonna try later again with the trap build, but for now I wanna try this poison setup. Let's quickly rework my skills. First of all, I won't be needing that many traps. Spinning blade heroic, amazing. Now here I want the poison. So here I would probably want the poison version if I'm gonna be using a trap. I do want skills with cooldown. This is why I'm using this trap and if I was not this trap but the spinning blade and the trap, because this is a skill with cooldown and it procs duelist chain reaction. And I kind of have to be quick to get the stacks done, so I need 2 skills with cooldown at least. Now this is a must-have skill, this is not a must-have, so I wanna see if there's anything else I can put there. Where is Master of Poisons? Master of Poisons. What else would I need? So 5 points, I can either upgrade something like this. I think this is a good upgrade. As for this one, if I'm only using it for utility, I can probably downgrade it. This would be great, but I don't think I can do that, so this even gives me damage reduction, so it's nice. Okay, let's try this. Hopefully I've got money to buy a map. Cinch, magical tornadoes randomly appear. This is gonna be a bit difficult. Let's try and reset it. No. No. Trying to get a map mod that's not too bad. Poison clouds regularly appear on the ground. This will be a bit difficult, but let's try and do it. Actually, I'm a poison build, so it's gonna be terrible to do it on a poison build. And now I'm gonna end up with not enough money to keep trying. Okay, enemy damage plus 10%. This is not the worst one, so let's do it. The first thing I would be able to notice is the damage on the poison aura. Doesn't seem changed, so that's not a bad thing. Okay. And the heroic spinning blade is doing a lot more damage than before, but it has longer cooldown. Before you could kind of almost spam it. Okay, this build already seems much better than before. For Chaos 7. So traps that supposedly got boosted maybe need to be combined with the symbiosis bow to be viable, but the other problem with this game is, from what I've heard from console players, they're very slow on the updates there. And they're slow with the updates on PC, but on console they're kind of almost non-existent.
energy?
Alright. So far the poison feels fine, but the energy is a problem, so I would have to rework some of the skills. Of course I can generate energy with this. I wanna try something, I wanna try how this fares. This is a strong skill. The problem is you have to stand on one place to cast it, but it's a very good, powerful skill. My number 4 skill, the Brambos.
Don't have the energy or time. I don't have the energy.
The Guardian Spirit is probably not what I would need, but it does help for extra damage every now and then.
I'm hurt. Focus.
Shit, that burning, I can't get rid of it.
I don't have the energy for that.
I heard some weird noises if something good dropped. So there is a setup that allows you to recover energy based on the distance you've moved, which I probably would place instead of the Guardian Angel.
Focus. Link with Avalon is too. I link with Avalon is too weak.
I think damaging the enemies with spinning blade and gaining energy for that would be a great thing to have in the game. Being able to generate energy with skills such as the heroic spinning blade. If the game had something like this, it would have been so much nicer for a poison build. But yeah, the build feels fine. It feels like Chaos7 is doable. It didn't take me too long to reach the boss. It wasn't a walk in the park either. Now we'll see how the boss fight goes. Many things can one-shot me, so I just have to be careful. Like this combo can one-shot you. He stuns you, then he does AoE underneath you while you're stunned. And by the time you stop being stunned, you're dead. This is just one example. But there is a tell, you can always tell what he's going to do, what skill he's going to do. So once you learn the mechanics, it won't be difficult. So compared to the trap build, this seems better, but as I noticed, I was using my cooldown bow instead of my trap damage bow, so I'm gonna have to go back to the trap build. It still feels slow though. It feels like the time I would be spending would not be worth the wood I would be getting. If they fix the drop rates, maybe that would be fine, but I've heard the drop rates have gotten even worse. I haven't played it myself to let you know, but we'll see. Depending on how many runs I do today, if I get a green, it will be nice if I get a green in under 5-7 maps of Chaos 7. Because before, even on Chaos 5, I never went more than 20 something. Of course I've gone more than 20 something few times, but most of the times it could be 6, 7, 8 runs Chaos 5 before getting a green. Sometimes 20, but that were some cases where my game would just crash because I think it got glitched or something, then that's why it wasn't dropping.
I need to focus. Time.
But I think there should be a way to guarantee green items, and Invasion seems like the best place to add something like this. Currently they only added something with green rings, so you can get 3 different green rings for sure if you unlock certain nodes on the Invasion. But I think they should do the same for armor and weapons. When you reach certain stages of the Invasion, you should be rewarded a green armor of a random one of your set of your choice or something. And ah, fuck. And this is the other thing, the boss is healing when you die. This is so annoying. Like, imagine getting the boss down to 10% after 20 minutes of dodging the unnecessarily difficult, the unnecessarily big HP, and then just getting one shot or something. It's fine having to spend 20 minutes or 15 minutes on a boss if you know it will guarantee 100% green drop. But if it won't, then people wouldn't think their time is worth it. Their time spent playing the game. Not their time spent farming on difficulty, but playing the game in general. Because I've got many other options of ARPGs that reward me more than this one for my time spent playing. Even MMOs, which are famous for being grinders, have better drop rates than this game. So on an MMO, there would be cases where a team would spend, what, 30, 50, 60, even 2 hours instead of minutes on a raid boss. And I've played a lot of those where you would spend an hour completing a certain raid, but then you would know that there would be some drop, even if it's not a drop for everyone, if it's just for one person of the whole party. You know there will be some reward at the end of it. May not be what you guys will be farming, but you know there will be at least a reward. So this skill, my number 4, is amazingly powerful. And it is the way to go when it comes to a poison build. It seems.
I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. Oh, I need more time.
Fuck, fuck, not now. Almost. Almost dead.
I need more time. I don't have the energy. Focus. I need to focus.
Okay, there he goes. Let's go see the relic chest at the end of the map. And after this I can probably test the trap build, but since I already played it, I want to go on the mage. I want to check some stuff on the mage, then I want to check Volen. And then after Volen I'm gonna check Bragi. So for now the trap build is a rain check, but the other two builds can do Chaos 7. A bit slow, completely and totally not worth doing Chaos 7 with summon or poison build for the time that's taking, but let's quickly change characters and test how it is with my other builds. Where was it? Exit, yes. The mage has a few interesting setups. I'm not sure which one I'm doing now. I think I'm doing the burning one. Oh no, I'm doing the blinding white, yeah. Blinding white with breath of fire. Oh, I was experimenting with etheric storm instead of what was it, the other one, the Aether blast. Since it got shifted, their places got changed with one of the patches. This should be a great boost to this character, because this is now, instead of 25, it's 40% crit damage. So someone might think this is worth taking. 35, so this 1 point here, it would make it worth taking the minus 5% HP now. So I've got things from where I can take point. I can take a point from here, and I think there was one more point I've spent that was just a leftover. But yeah, if I decide to change the build, I just need to get rid of this point and maybe put it here. And it's not minus 10% HP as it was before, it's minus 5. So that's quite a good thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's kind of how it's gonna be for this setup. I'm gonna leave it the way it is just to see how it fares compared to before. This is how I used to play this build, so let's go ahead and delve into some Chaos 7 content just to see if I can do it. Just checking what I was using. Relentless Sentinel, Soulfire, yeah, the classic setup. Just not this act. Anything but Swanesh. Corn is good. Let's make sure it's Chaos 7. Alright, now here we come. It's gonna be nice to see now this build. Oh, this looks different. Okay.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
They've changed to something with blinding light. What did they change with it? Burns, repels, and enemies, create an area on the ground that regenerates health. I think they just changed the animation. It seems to have the exact same bonuses.
My magic is not ready yet. Perfection requires patience. Does not deserve such a sacrifice. My magic
Grant me power.
Ah shit. Yeah, getting stuck. Well, this would be a bit difficult with this build. Navigating. Because this build is supposed to be getting damage reduction and stuff when standing still. But things can still one-shot you on this difficulty. But it's doing a lot more damage, so it is viable. It's viable, you just have to kind of find a way to play it without dying much. Yeah, this build seems like it got a very good boost in regards to the damage output.
May the winds of magic grant me power.
Okay, I'm not gonna bother with those. Oh shit, move. Oh. Okay. I'm liking how this build is. Of course, the problem is not the damage with this build, it's the survivability, because the monsters are just one shot everywhere. One shot after one shot, even from the littlest dogs on the enemy side. I'm sure many people enjoy this kind of difficulty where everything can one shot you, but this is not fucking Dark Souls, it's supposed to be an ARPG. You should be able to take some hits. I'm not saying be able to take 10 hits before you die, but 5, 6 is fine.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Yeah, this is the thing I didn't like about the game before. And I still don't like it. The unnecessary difficulty in regards to how strong the enemies are. Now we are strong as well, and if you play like a pussy and keep dodging all the time and everything, it's gonna be fine. But see, I've got a build that's supposedly tanky. I'm stacking damage reduction from a lot of sources, and it's still not enough to be able to survive one hit from some targets, from most targets. So the only way I'm forced to play hit and run, and this is no fun. Like hitting a few times, then running back, hitting a few times, then running back. Yeah, I'm seeing the revive screen more than I'm actually playing the game.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Also, this character is so slow. In general, movement speed is pretty bad. There are some things that give you good movement speed, of course. But the mage, if you're not using my build that had kind of unlimited teleportation, the movement is very limited, and the mage is supposed to be agile, mobile, supposed to be able to move far from danger when it's needed. But yeah, at least I know this build can do KL7. If someone plays it safe, not the way I do, it's gonna be fine. But it's not gonna be fun. Look at that, just one hit. 140,000 HP. Mind you, I've got 140,000 HP before I had like 80, 90, 100,000. So we did get some boost in regards to HP. Also, let me check what the set says. It says the exact same things as before. Burning enemies take more damage, so I'm kind of doubling down on this. There's gonna be an interesting setup later when I try the other builds, the ones that make burning enemies take extra magical damage for a magical damage build. I also want to see something on the offhands, whether this got boosted. This seems kind of the same as before. This seems kind of the same as before. What about the weapons? Okay, let's try with the Phoenix Herald. I'm gonna lose a lot of good stuff with the Phoenix Herald though.
My magic is not ready yet. Perfection requires patience.
Yeah, I don't think the Phoenix Herald is the way to go for this build. Oh, the cost reduction is nice, but this remaining static creates an area on the ground that increases both crit hit chance and damage inflicted. So the damage inflicted was boosted, it was less before. So Relentless Sentinel got the boost overall. Okay, again, let's keep going. Until I don't have enough gold to resurrect. And see, as soon as I try to stay in place, bullshit happens. And if I don't stay in place, I can't use my flamethrower skill.
Perfection.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
You see what happened? I was teleporting and in the middle of my teleport something hit me.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
My magic is not ready.
So playing playing this game makes me wonder why am I even doing it. And this is not something you want your players to be thinking when playing your game. I can answer though, I'm doing it because I wanted to check how it is, but after checking it, yeah, I was expecting something different than what's happening. I was expecting a bit more balance in regards to how strong the enemies are of their damage. Their HP seems fine, they do die easy, but they can still one-shot you and it just doesn't feel right.
Grant me power!
But at least it's a step in the right direction. Now more people would be able to do Chaos 7 with different builds instead of having to get the exact same build every time on the exact same character. So this is actually completable. It's just gonna take shit tons of time. But it was doable before too, but before we did a bit less damage.
May the winds of magic grant me power!
Look at it, I'm barely scratching him for the time I've spent fighting him.
I should wait some more. Perfection requires patience. My life does not deserve such a sacrifice. Our magic is not ready.
What's the cooldown on the potion? It doesn't say. Oh, 19 seconds. Such a incredibly stupid cooldown. Should be like 8 seconds.
May the winds of magic grant me
Yeah, so far I don't think I even want to spend time finishing this boss. It's not worth it.
Abomination.
The damage is not enough compared to the boss's HP. I don't think I can even have the nerves to keep testing the other builds. I kind of have a rough idea from what I've seen now, and I probably won't be playing this game until the next update, and even after that I'm gonna wait a bit. So yeah, that's probably gonna be it. Chaosbane, yeah, not really, not worth it. Having much more fun playing games that are in alpha compared to this game that's been released for months. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna end my stream now, and I'm gonna see what else I could play. Hopefully there is something else that would pique my interest. Thanks everyone who watched and for being here and all the support. Till next time, and keep it cool.